Well, welcome to the workshop. My name is Marshall. I was brought this guitar at work yesterday, in fact, and the owner of the guitar was complaining that the frets were poking out the side of the fretboard, and it was very uncomfortable. And I concur that these frets were really bad. I did some work to get these frets level with the sides of the fretboard. The tines of these that hold it in the fretboard were poking out the ends and really uncomfortable to play and hold on to. So that problem has been completely solved. We also took care of the intonation on the guitar. These saddles, as you can see, the saddles are adjusted in perfect tune. The instrument had a nice bow in the neck, and I've solved that by using the truss rod, and you can see I still have the truss rod cover off of there. We swapped the strings out to a 9-gauge Ernie Ball Super Slinky and polished the frets, cleaned the fretboard. The guitar was just an absolute mess when I got it. It was covered in dust from head to toe. The tone controls were both very loose. They were wobbling around in the slots. The output jack was loose. However, the electronics worked perfectly. They were just the nuts had come loose on the inside of these control knobs, and so we took care of that. I adjusted the pickup height to factory specifications and set the string action here at the 12th fret to precisely where it's supposed to be, and the neck relief at 12 thousandths here at the 5th fret. The other glaring problem that this guitar had was that the nut was way too high. So what I was forced to do was use some nut files, which are slotted in the proper width for the width of each string that passes through these slots in this nut. And I had to lower those down. When I measured this, the action at the 1st fret was at 38 thousandths. I have adjusted that down to 20 thousandths, which is factory specifications for this guitar, or for a Fender Strat, which this is exactly a Fender Stratocaster, a Fender Strat specs from the factory. Put Ernie Ball Slinky 9s on here, and the guitar is set up. Had a comment from a friend that was talking about these Peavey Predator guitars not holding tune, and my response to that would be you may want to check your playing technique if they're not holding tune, and or go in and have the guitar set up professionally, and be sure to lube the nut when you put strings on the guitar. A few things you can do to help. That helps in any guitar. I don't care if it's a Les Paul or a Strat. You want the strings to be able to move in this nut and move freely. This one, the nut slots were a bit wide, so I have them gauged at exactly the string width. This is a 42 low E string, and this is a 9 high E string, and that's how wide these nut slots are. So, having said all that, we can check the tuning in this guitar. Boy, that sounds pretty good and in tune. We'll use the tremolo bar to see if we can make it go out of tune. Intonation is perfect. Sounds like it's in pretty good tune. So obviously the guitar is holding tune really well. That's due to a perfect setup. the guitar being set up to factory specs and playing it correctly. The tremolo bars on these guitars can be a little finicky. This one is floating. If you have a tremolo bar like this, which is similar to a Fender Stratocaster, they operate best if they are floating. There's no rule that says you can't float it. However, if you lock that Floyd or this tremolo bar, vibrato bar, is to be correct. If you lock this down, they will not stay in tune. That's been my experience. I don't own a Strat that doesn't have a floating tremolo. If you don't float it, you're asking for trouble. When you bend down and that bar comes back, if your nut is locking or if the string is sticking in this nut at all, you have no means of pulling that back to get it to get back where it was. That is why when I use a technique that I use when using a tremolo is to give it a warble and not forget to pull up on that thing to get it back. Guitar sounds like it's in pretty good tune to me. I'm going to demo this thing for a little bit. Let me shut this microphone off and we'll get going so I can hear. If you have a guitar that you need some work on, even if it's a cheap American-made Peavey Predator, In the right hands, it can certainly be made very useful. This is a guitar I would certainly go play a gig with right now. Love this guitar. It's been really fun to work on. The young man that's going to receive this guitar as a gift, I believe, is probably going to have a lot of fun with this. Again, my name is Marshall. I work at LeGrand Stereo and Music. You can reach us there at 541-963-5933. We are located in the SAC Annex at 111 First Street in LeGrand, right next to the U.S. Bank, right on the corner of the SAC Annex building. I think you're very familiar with where that is. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and I'll put a video up of some of the work that I've done on this guitar in the process. So you guys have a great day. Peace.